Hi all, greetings media family. This is your girl here. I trust you all doing amazing. I'm back again with another video, and today we are preparing palm nut soup, or like the Nigerians will call it, Banga soup. So let's dive straight into the video. In my pot, I already have my washed protein or meat. I've also added my tomatoes. I have my pepper, habanero pepper. I've got diced onions, and also I've got my baked onions that I'll be blending. I'm just adding my spices. That's the natural spices that I've already blended. That consists of ginger, garlic, and the rest. I'm also adding other seasoning of my choice, so you can also do same. So right after this, I'm just going to mix everything up to ensure they are properly marinated or mixed together before I put it on my fire to start steaming. I'm not adding water. I'm just going to allow this to cook in its own juice. And I always advise that you do that. Just allow the meat or your protein to cook in its own juice for at least 5 to 10 minutes before you add a bit of water if you want to. So here we are. Our meat has cooked or steamed for a while, and we can see the juice around it. I also did add a little bit of water, just to boost what is already in there. At this point, I will take out the tomato, my habanero pepper, and the onions, getting them ready to be blended, and will be introduced back into this pot. So I'm just taking them out now to blend them. And whilst that is blending, I'm adding my tomato puree, which I'll be stirring. Allow that to also cook for a while before I reintroduce my blended tomatoes and peppers. And here we go. This is just the meat and the tomato puree that has cooked for a while. Our meat is steaming with the tomato puree, and our tomatoes, habanero pepper, onions has been blended and strained, which I'm going to introduce back into the pot, and that's what I'm doing at this point. You can see that. So whilst that is going on, I've also prepared my palm base, which is already sitting. And here we go. That's the palm base. I've just dished everything out into a bowl, into which I will add hot water to mix it up, allow to sit for about 10 minutes for all the, any particle to settle at the bottom. Strain it before adding it back into my pot. And that is what I'm doing at this point, just mixing it up and then leaving it to sit for about 10 minutes. Strain it before adding it into my pot. So here we are. Our tomato puree and the other bits that I added are cooking perfectly. So at this point, I'm just adding my palm base into my pot to cook with the meat. Some people would prefer to take the meat out, but I want to cook it together. If you don't want a tender meat, then you can take it out to allow the soup to cook on its own before you reintroduce your meat. And here I'm just stirring. Like I mentioned, it's always good to, stir to make sure you have everything well incorporated. And here is our soup, boiling, cooking very well. Every word was a quiet chord. I'm just going to add a cube, a stock of cube. That's a shrimp cube. That is what I'm adding. And that's all that I'm using in terms of seasoning. I also have my mackerel already smoked. So I've just taken all the skin off, and I'll be introducing that into my soup now. At this point, if you have other proteins that you like to add, you are more than welcome. If you have your bushmeat, your smoked fish, any other protein of your choice, you can add it. This is a time for you to add all your proteins. So I am just using the mackerel and my meat, and I'm just happy with that for now. You can also introduce, if you have Iden fruits and you want to add that. In Ghana, we call it prekese. You can also add that as well, but I'm not adding that at this point. I just want to have my natural palm soup taste or flavor. And again, because I'll be storing some of this in the freezer for a couple of weeks, I just want to maintain the natural flavor of my palm nut or palm base. So here we are, and I've just added habanero pepper. I did take out the seed because that is very spicy. I don't want to end up having my palate being too hot, or when I'm eating I can't really enjoy the food. So I've just taken all the seed out, and I've added only one to the soup. And here we are. Our soup is ready. It's ready. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and God bless you.